Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Texas Chain Saw Massacre, the game video. Today, Gun Interactive did a stream where they answered a ton of questions that came from the subreddit. This included Matt Shacha, the brand strategist, and Wes Keltner, the CEO over at Gun. And to my surprise, there were a lot of new details in here. Some really big quotes in here that are gonna be pretty exciting for the future of the game. So I want to spotlight some of those, give my reaction, and then I want to hear yours in the comments below. But let's go ahead, let's dive in, let's talk about some of these clips.
Are there long-term plans for the game, i.e. additional family members and victims down the line?
Yeah, there are. We have somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 9 months worth of content we're planning. That's, you know, maps and new characters and some new kills. There's all kinds of goodies that we've got planned for you guys. Obviously, if there's still a player base and you guys are still buying things, we're gonna keep building them. I mean, that's how this works, is every dollar that comes in from content, I put into content and servers. Like, that's how we keep the ship afloat. So yes, that's our current plan.
So there you go, 6 to 9 months out is what they're looking at for content. Now, based on the time that we got from launch to the current DLC, you're looking at like 3 months of drop. So you're probably talking 2-3 maps in that time frame that they already kind of have built out here and they're working on. It's actually a little bit less than I thought. Usually it would be closer to a year. That's what you'll kind of hear with these timelines, is about a year. I'm sure that the piece of paper with a bunch of notes on there and what they want to do, I'm sure it's a massive length, okay? I'm sure they have a ton of stuff they want to do in terms of what is actually on the timeline being worked on. They're about 6 to 9 months out, which, hey, whatever. That just means I got 6 to 9 months of content to play. We got plenty of time. Plenty of time. As long as it sells well, continues to do well, you'll be able to keep getting more content.
Next question would be, are there any plans to bring crossplay to 8th gen consoles? This is a good one.
I mean, at this time, no. Technically, it's quite difficult to do a major time sink. Every time we've lifted the hood and looked at it, it's far more intricate than it might seem. I'm not saying no forever, it's not going to happen, but right now it would eat up so much of our time of the things that we know we want to do that we're concentrating on new content and, you know, fixing some things that are there, getting some quality of life stuff done that we know we want. And that it's just a bigger nut to crack. And again, it's not a definitive no, but right now it's not on the docket.
So for those of you that are playing on previous gen consoles, they don't have crossplay, probably not the best answer. The good news is it's not completely ruled out. I know that's a little bit a tough obstacle. It's actually a really expensive obstacle. And I think that plays it. You have to keep in mind, it's still a low budget game. It's not a AAA game, it's an independent studio. And yeah, that's quite the task, quite the daunting task, especially putting it after the fact. So yeah, not looking great for previous gen consoles over there for crossplay, but hopefully the player base stays strong enough where you won't have insane queue times over there, even if you don't end up getting crossplay in the long run.
Are you going to add more levels further than 99 and add in-game currencies, metagame? This is a long one.
This is a long one.
There's a bit of extra.
Yeah.
So let's pick this one apart. You going to add levels further than 99 and add in-game currencies, metagame, and a prestige system?
Are we raising the level from 99? Yes. That is happening. I can't give you a date when it's happening, but yeah, it's been an ongoing discussion here. Nearly every other day it comes up in design meetings where we're discussing how we want to do that. The second part of that was about whether there be currencies for earning. It's also been an ongoing discussion here. It's a thing that we think is a smart move. It gives people something to grind towards. And it gives them obviously also an option to, if you can't afford or you don't want to buy the content that we're putting out, is there an alternate way that you could get to it? Yes, and I think that's fair. And we want to work towards that. Again, I don't have a date in front of me because we literally came out of hotfix mode, which is just, you know, putting out as many fires as we can, as fast as we can. And then it was, you know, rolling into this biggest patch because we had to merge all those splintered builds into one main build. Which is what this next big quality of life patch is going to do. So that gives us a far more of a wider vision to allow us to look down the road and say, that's a thing and we can get this in this time. Let's figure that out. So the short answer on, will there be currency in the game? We want it. We think it's a smart play. I can't give you a date as to when.
So the big thing in here for me, it's in-game currency. I think that's huge. You know, it allows you to avoid spending $10 per character. Yeah, you're going to grind your ass off probably to be able to get those characters for free, but you can do it. You don't have to spend money on characters or other items and things like that. You can actually earn a currency in game by grinding your ass off and unlocking things in that way. So I love that. Level 99, of course, being the cap being changed, how high they go, who knows, but that seems like a no-brainer. It's going to happen eventually as long as there's players. So yeah, I just want, if they're going to do that, increase the cap, and Matt actually elaborated on this later, they actually want things to be there to unlock, and I would prefer if they were better than, you know, just the behind the scenes photos. I like the behind the scenes photos, it's cool. Can we get some cosmetics, things you can actually use in game that are unlockable? That would be nice, but that's great news. They're actually going to look into in-game currency. It's probably going to happen. That's exciting. It might be down the road a bit, but that could be huge, right? Like that's something that could really help the longevity of the game, and I'm glad to hear they're actually looking into it.
Will there be a possible way to make Leatherface not mandatory? And do you guys have any ideas, plans, or incentives to get more people to play Leatherface? I still run into lobbies with people refusing to play him.
Okay, so the first part of that question was, will there be a way to make Leatherface not mandatory?
Yeah.
Yes, and that's coming by the end of the month. So you will not have to play, you will no longer need Leatherface to start a match.
Now, good grief, this is a big one. Didn't think they'd ever actually do it, because in my opinion, it does break balance entirely. But now, it's your fault, okay? Leatherface will no longer be required, and it's not a long ways away. It's happening this month. This month, in November, you will have the option to not play as Leatherface, and that'll certainly help with some of the lobby dodging issues. But I'm telling you, I think it's going to break balance. I think people are going to learn the hard way just how important Leatherface is, and we'll see how that goes. But now, they no excuses. Get in there, play who you want to play as. You don't need Leatherface, but we'll see exactly where the balance goes once Leatherface is not in the game. But I do think seeing, you know, Sissy, Hitchhiker, and Cook together could be really powerful depending on the map you're going. You got the Crawl Space Crusaders all over you, and you still got the Cook in play. That could be huge. We'll see what happens.
I know we have pedals, but could we possibly see a single player mode added to the game like Virtual Cabin from F13?
Yes, it's in the works. It's been in the works for a while. It's not done yet. I don't know when it's going to be done, but as soon as we do know, we'll let you know. I've had a lot of questions about that because I know a lot of people enjoy the Virtual Cabin. We enjoyed making it. We enjoyed all the deep cuts and the lore because we know there's horror nerds like us out there that want that kind of thing. And we're working with the same team that built the Virtual Cabin to build what we are internally dubbing museum mode. So you can take that and probably start to get a picture of what that might be.
So single player mode being added, I could clickbait the hell out of this, just put single player confirmed, but that's not exactly what this is. It is an offline single player mode, sure, but it is similar to that of the Virtual Cabin. It's their museum mode, it sounds super cool. One of my favorite things in F13 the game was the Virtual Cabin 2.0. I thought that was an amazing way to reveal Uber Jason, who, you know, never made it, but the idea was great. The concept was fantastic. I loved that as a horror nerd, just to be able to go in there and explore those things and put together Easter eggs and solve a puzzle is super, super cool to me. So to take that idea, put it in the world of the Texas Chain Saw Massacre, I'm all in for it, and I'm curious if they're going to do the whole reveal thing with it. Who's going to get revealed? They said that they're going to go into some lore for Maria in there, for Maria Flores. Maybe we could get something revealed about her in there. Maybe find her body or something like that. I don't know. I'm intrigued. I think that's awesome. I'm glad they're adding it. It's not a legitimate single player. It's not a story mode or offline bots like you would probably expect, but I'm glad that this is happening because the thing is with an update like that, with a single player offline mode like that, it's nothing more than fan service, which I love, right? They're not going to just be able to market that and they're bringing a whole bunch of new players because of it. They're doing it because they're fans and they want to treat fans to something really cool. And I can't wait. That shit makes me excited, but let's move on.
You guys plan on adding more family cosmetics?
Yeah, we are. And I think you're going to see some potentially in the next, like, I don't know, 60 days, give or take. I'd like to say end of year. It may spill into the first, but it's right in that window that, yeah, you're going to get that.
So I just threw this one in here because I thought family cosmetics, you know, they're so limited right now. They need something and not just more Leatherface skins. It's going to happen a little bit further away than I thought. They're talking end of the year, maybe rolls into January, but 60 days-ish, you'll actually have some legitimate family cosmetics. How much? Who knows? But if you get the same amount of variance on family as you do as victim, that's plenty. That you could have quite a bit. That'd be pretty cool. Be nice to get it in there. And you know, Johnny shirtless, confirmed. So we'll see what other cosmetics are in the mix there.
So the newest family and victim member and map, yeah, we're going to be talking about those more over the course of the next 2 weeks. And I get to share some good news for once, and you'll be seeing them and playing as them by the end of the month.
A little bit of a no-brainer here, but yes, the map, the new victim, new family member, confirmed coming in November. Probably looking like that week of Thanksgiving if I was guessing, but it could just be rolling into the last week in November.
If Chop Top were to be added into the game, would it be a cameo, a skin with a new weapon, or a new family member altogether?
Good question. If I'm putting Chop Top in the game, he's a full-on family member with full abilities, just like, you know, any other family member. It would not be a skin or a cameo appearance. It would be a full fleshed out character.
So they talked about the other movies quite a bit and getting the rights to those and what they do, etc., and how it had to change the continuity and the lore and the time, you know, all of that. It was the same thing you've already heard before. This part I thought was really cool. They actually talked about Chop Top specifically, and that they wouldn't just throw him onto a skin for Hitchhiker. It's better than nothing if they did that, but I agree, I wouldn't do that. They're like, hey, nah, if we're doing Chop Top, we're doing him right. He's his own character. He's his own look. He's got his own ability. I love that. So hopefully it happens. But we've seen hanging out with Bill Moseley, a lot of Chop Top talk lately. Even the fact they're willing to, yeah, you want Chop Top too? I'm holding my son if you can't tell. Even the fact they're willing to answer the question on stream, I don't know. It says a lot, in my opinion.
So will future maps have different escape methods, like something different than lock, gates, fuse, and valve?
Short answer, yes.
Boom.
Moving on.
So this was the last real big thing that they talked about. They don't go into any more details. This is it. But it's a big one to me. I wasn't expecting it. All right. You know, F13 never did that, never changed based on the maps. I think it's huge. I think it adds to a ton of replayability. The fact that you know, what map you are on changes what exits are there. That's awesome. That's something that F13 should have had, and I'm excited to see it in TCM. But that's it. That was the biggest points of that stream, at least in my opinion. There was a lot in there. It was 2 hours long, but these were the juiciest details, in my opinion. But that's my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below, but that's going to wrap up this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to our channel for more updates like this one. And of course, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.